You are watching part 4 of this series, which is on mental health. My guest is Dr. Farah Abbasi. She is an assistant professor in the Department of Psychiatry at Michigan State University and a core faculty member of the Muslim Studies program. You can find out more about her in the show notes, and also the links are there for the previous episodes. You can visit my website, lightuppichwa.com, and leave a comment or two, or browse the website and see what programs am I offering. And you can watch other episodes as well and let me know which one do you like, what do you like about, which theme is resonating with you, and what other topics would you like me to cover. This year, if you have noticed and you're following my episodes weekly, I have been covering mental health topic. And Dr. Farah Abbasi and similar experts have been coming on my podcast. And I hope you will watch and let me know how they have helped you and how these topics are resonating with you. Thank you.
Connect with someone, right? The biggest tip that we have to learn in therapy, and I always talk about it, that when you want to help someone or you want somebody to open up to you, you don't go in with an agenda. You are not going in that I'm going to fix this person, right? You go in to meet the person where they are. You first have to go with such an open mind and heart that whatever the other person is going to say, I will listen to it and understand it. So to me, that is active listening, open mind and heart, without judgment, that what is your kid saying and why are they saying it? And it can be for your elderly or it can be for anyone.
That's a very good point. Thank you so much about that. That is such one of the many major things that I have learned also, listening and understanding, and not to be ready to respond, rather to understand. Yes, you're right. Tens of thousands of questions coming up. Okay.
And I love talking.
and I love asking questions. So we are a good fit here. So COVID, let's come to COVID a little bit, and then I'll come to you also a little later. But do you think that COVID, I know that you just mentioned that pandemic, it's in isolation, has it increased? I heard the abuse and the personal issues and depression and everything has gone up, and not only in the US, all over the world. So, and this pandemic is in our times. I don't know if we'll see another one or we won't, and I hope we don't. But pandemic or no pandemic, what have you understood being in this most powerful country and then being from developing world? What have you understood and learned during this pandemic? Because you must be isolated. Were you working from home and, counseling everybody and teaching also from home?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you back? Classrooms? Not yet? Okay.
Yet.
Okay.
So
are you looking forward to that? To some extent? Some extent. Okay. Yeah. What can we learn from all this? How can we tackle? I'm asking you all the difficult questions, I know.
I know I would sound very cliche, but I honestly believe I found all the answers in our religion again. And why I say that, human beings thrive on predictability. And especially in this country, when I first came and was in an academic setting and they said, we want your whole calendar for the year, what you're going to do each day. Wow. I was like, how can somebody know what they're going to do?
Right.
So this is And I think that structure, that predictability, and schedules, the human control,
Mm.
the human tendency to control their environment, their life, their relationship, right? I think this was really challenged during this time.
A
We
lot of other things challenged, but this too, yes, control. Yep. Yeah.
we really for once don't have answers. You say, where would we have another pandemic? Well, this one isn't going away.
Yeah.
It hasn't.
And still there, very much there. Yep.
And so really what we learned was that we have control over nothing. There were people who were really sick that we were worried about who survived COVID.
Hmm.
And there were really young, healthy family members, friends who lost life to COVID. You thought on so and so date you would be traveling or going to somebody's wedding, and you ended up going to somebody's funeral that day. Literally, you had no control over anything. You did have only control you had was how you're going to react to it, how you're going to cope with it. And that's where the human power lies. But we, for the longest or forever in our regular lives, we spend so much energy in controlling what is never in our control and not focusing on what really is in our control. So knowing where your limit as a human is, and after a certain point, you have to trust. In my case, if you are religious or spiritual, then you believe in some higher power, or you believe in science or whatever. At some point, you have to give that power up.
Yeah.
So I think we all got so humbled during this experience. And we also found what our innate strengths are. Another thing, actually, which is very interesting, there are things we avoid.
Hmm.
So we saw that the relationships which already had cracks in it, the divorce rates went up. Or we saw the people actually came together, get through it. So a lot of our vulnerabilities came across, but a lot of our strengths, our competencies, ability to cope, but knowing that as human, you have limits.
Well, I hope everybody learns from that, because it's easy to blame pandemic. Okay, because of pandemic, we can do this and that and the other. But I think those people who were on the line of thought that you just mentioned were more relaxed during the pandemic. And those who were still challenging and, beating up on it were still stressed. So pandemic or not, depends on as you said,
To
the reaction.
me, 2, 3 examples really stand out.
Uh-huh.
When you see such big academic institutes, we don't know. We don't know when we would have in-person classes.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Knowing.
yeah.
They are in business of knowing.
Yes. And as you said, they have a whole calendar of a year or 2 years or maybe 5 years planned.
5 years calendars.
That's true. So
Other profound thing I think is
yes.
as practicing Muslim, we always saw people doing tawaf in Khana Kaaba. To me, that is really was life-changing to see Khana Kaaba empty of people.
Yeah. That was actually quite an awakening for people who
Right?
are.
So I think we really need to define. And I talk about this. I did a presentation for our Pakistani community here, and I said, "Where are your designer bags now?
How did that? How was that
Or
received?
your
Oh my
designer
God!
cars when you are not coming out of the house? Where are the designer cars or your clothes? Or so you come to the very basic, like what really is valuable in life.
What do you really need, actually, right?
Need,
Yeah.
right?
So, coming while you mention now, I can to ask you, how does your Pakistani Muslim community or Pakistani non-Muslim community receive you when you talk in this way? Uh, if you can share something to educate
initially,
us.
initially, they would run away when
Mhm,
they see me coming. That oh, here she will start talking about mental health again.
mhm. Are they more critical than the other communities? As in, I would want to understand, like, is it easy to work with Pakistani community or any other community is easier? Let me just throw it straight to you.
Now, um, Alhamdulillah, after being here 20 years and not giving up and being very persistent in my message, and um, I think they understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
They trust my intention.
Okay.
Some of them had to even access help through me.
Mm.
So they understand. Um, so I I have been very much embraced by the Islamic Center.
Oh, excellent.
It's very and I was named sixth trailblazer woman at Michigan State,
MashaAllah.
first
Very
Muslim
nice.
woman to be.
Congratulations.
So I think now they might not like always be ready to listen to what I'm saying, but they understand. And there's a respect now. So I think I was invited by halakas and stuff at the
Okay,
Masjid
excellent.
Youth.
Excellent.
So I now don't want to focus on how I got here. I just
Right.
look forward to where I'm going
Exactly. Right.
and stay positive. So Alhamdulillah, yes,
You're doing.
I feel now it's quite understood, embraced, and to some extent encouraged.
Excellent. I want to come back to your trailblazer title. Six women. One of them is you. It's very good to know. Congratulations, and a
Thank you.
proud moment for women in general, and for Pakistani women and Muslim women. So you hold many titles, as you know. Very nice. So, how do you balance your um, professional life with your home life? I know you have daughters, and how you have managed it. Can women learn from you something that you did?
Early on, I realized it's not the quantity, it's the quality of time you're going to spend with your kids.
Okay.
What happens is and for that, it's important to know where you are mentally, physically. I remember when I started my job, I would come home and stay in the car for 15, 20 minutes, just quiet before I could come in because I had young kids and to deal with them. I think it is hard for women in general, even in American society, because when we are at work, we are guilty of not being a good mother. And when we are home, we are guilty of not taking care of the work. I think balance tilts one way or the other. It's hard. It's a everyday job.
Mm.
Some days you have to be a mom, and irrespective of what your professional needs are, and I'm getting more comfortable to say no.
Okay.
Today I have to be a mom, and on the other hand, sometimes you have to talk to your kids and say, no, I have to take care of this emergency or this meeting. I think it's an everyday thing, and it's for each one of us as women in professional roles. It is hard. It is hard. And because I am taking care of my three daughters, and we have very good relationship. We mutually celebrate each other and listen to each other and support each other. We are really thriving as a unit.
Excellent. Good to know. Mashallah. So, what are your strategies to take care of yourself?
I think learning to say no and taking those mental health breaks. I think it is very sad that as an immigrant, you always are struggling with this sense of gratitude that I've been given a chance to do this work, or you also have this innate sense of inadequacy. I'm not good enough. I will have to work hard. As a woman, you are always putting a lot of pressure on yourself. But for once, like you said, something really powerful is understanding yourself. I think for me, the biggest thing was knowing who I am as a person and what is my authentic self.
Yep.
And I do have tendency to take on a lot of things. And I had to be very cognizant of it and be aware of it. I truly, for me, I don't give a second thought that I have to be kind or to someone.
Comes
right?
naturally.
It's just, and it just, somebody drew me with the hearts all over my body. First thing they told me when I told my family I want to be a psychiatrist, they said, oh my God, you will be bringing patients home and
Yeah.
it will be very hard for you to. So what was seen as my weakness became my strength and passion. But learning that I have limits, I need breaks, and my program is very supportive.
Okay.
My kids are very supportive, but I wouldn't say I have reached this great milestone. I could be eating more healthy,
Yeah.
more exercise.
Yeah, I was going to say,
always.
like, do you exercise, walk? What do you like to do? Listen
I
to
do a
music?
bit of everything.
Okay, good. Excellent. Excellent.
But yeah, I have to get it's something you have, because compassionate fatigue is real,
Yes.
but your profession is like people can call you at any time of day.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, because it's exhausting work sometimes, and it's all.
And right now, my pro bono work
Oh,
takes a lot of my
that
time,
also.
community service. But
Mashallah. So you keep your energy up, eating right, huh? French fries and burgers.
I said I try.
I try. Okay.
I try. It's very easy to preach. It's hard.
Yeah,
So I
Okay.
I try. I'm trying.
Okay. Excellent. So, what do you like?
One golden rule,
sorry.
I would
Yes,
say,
sure.
one golden rule that I think, again, food, diet, sleep, everything matters, but the integral part is stress. And my goal has become no stress zone.
That is taking care of yourself. If you take care of stress, then everything will be fine. If you know how to smile and laugh, I think that's half of it easily.
That is one area I think I'm getting really good with, is not to let things stress. So I say this a lot, that be peace, be at peace.
Yes, that's a good one.
Don't give stress to others.
Yes,
and let others stress you.
Excellent. Maybe we need to make a t-shirt of this. That's a good message. Thank you. One thing you like about yourself and one thing you would like to change about yourself.
Not to sound narcissistic. But I always liked myself, but I was afraid to be fully myself. Because since childhood, I was always afraid that if you are trusting, people will take advantage of you. I was told, I trust people easily, you are too kind.
Yeah.
And I lived in that fear. I never lived fully. Now, who I am, I'm fully myself.
That's good.
And I think, alhamdulillah, what I would like to improve about me is not be judgmental about people.
Wow, that's very
honestly, if you ask me today, I'm not angry at anyone. Hate anyone, because why? Not that I'm some superhuman. I've seen how anger consume people and destroy people. And when we don't realize, when we say we don't like this person or we hate this person, we are still investing in that. We are giving our emotional investment to the other person. I think no one right now is that important and relevant in my life that I should focus my hate or anger towards them. I have taken all that energy and invested it into my purpose. And I feel that my purpose needs so much of my energy that really everything else becomes very small. But improvement-wise, we are all born with biases. We unconsciously judge. And I'm trying to be very cognizant about that and work on that I don't become judgmental about anyone or any situation.
Thank you. All right, let's come to the last leg of questions. All right, Dr. Farah. Thank you so much for so far what you have answered, shared, and it has been very authentic and genuine, and that is what I like. And then you can see my interview is pretty casual, so no tension there. I don't want to give stress to you, and I don't want to take stress.
Perfect.
Right?
Good with me.
Exactly.